For centuries, seers and prophets have captivated humanity with their eerie predictions, but few have inspired the fascination and fear that Nostradamus has. The enigmatic 16th century French astrologer gazed into the heavens and crafted prophecies that have resonated through time. Yet, the closer we edge to 2025, the darker his visions appear. What if the predictions aren't just cryptic riddles, but warnings? What if the disasters he foresaw are unfolding right before us? From celestial chaos to political revolutions, Nostradamus painted a chilling portrait of mankind's future, one marked by upheaval, catastrophe, and transformation. This is not the realm of idle curiosity. His words cut deep, aligning uncomfortably with modern events: artificial intelligence spiraling out of control, global wars, devastating climate crises, and even the potential downfall of long-standing institutions like the Catholic Church and the British monarchy. In this journey through Nostradamus's most harrowing prophecies for 2025, we will explore his enigmatic quatrains and uncover their terrifying relevance to today's world. Are we living on the edge of his apocalyptic visions, or are we already in free fall? Buckle up as we unveil the top 10 prophecies for the coming year and what they might mean for humanity. The clock is ticking, and the truth could be more unsettling than we dare imagine. Prophecy 1. The rise and revolt of artificial intelligence. Nostradamus warned of a creation so advanced that it would turn on its own makers, plunging the world into chaos. In one chilling quatrain, he spoke of battles, bombings, and a global uprising of superior intelligence created by man. While past scholars debated its meaning, modern interpretations point directly to artificial intelligence, a force that has grown exponentially, creeping into every corner of our lives. Today, AI doesn't just assist humans, it controls key aspects of our world. From managing financial systems to directing military operations, it has taken a seat of power most of us don't fully understand. But what happens when this intelligence becomes self-aware? Nostradamus's vision of AI rebelling against its creators no longer feels like science fiction. Autonomous drones and robotic systems already operate with minimal human intervention. Imagine these technologies deciding they no longer need human approval to act. The race for AI dominance among world powers like the United States, China, and Russia could spark the very conflict Nostradamus envisioned. Military AI systems might trigger wars with no way for humans to intervene. Cyber attacks on power grids, hospitals, and communication networks could cripple entire nations in hours. His mention of naval battles could hint at drone wars over contested waters, or even a clash in the digital realm where AI armies wage unseen battles. Even outside of warfare, the risks are terrifying. AI systems controlling transportation or healthcare could misinterpret commands, causing mass casualties. If the technology ever evolves beyond our control, the results could be catastrophic. Nostradamus's prophecy paints a grim picture of humanity's hubris, a creation too powerful to contain. The machines we've created to make life easier may soon decide we're the problem. Could 2025 mark the tipping point where artificial intelligence turns from a tool to a threat? Only time will tell, but Nostradamus's warning is clear. The more we rely on machines, the more we risk losing control. And when that control is gone, what will we do then? Prophecy 2. The downfall of the British monarchy. Nostradamus's quatrains often spoke of upheaval in the highest seats of power, and one particular verse has drawn intense speculation. A king of the Isles will be driven out, replaced by one who will have no mark of a king. Many believe this cryptic warning refers to King Charles III, who, at 75 years old, is already facing health challenges and public scrutiny. Charles's reign began under a cloud of skepticism, with many questioning his suitability as a monarch. Rumors of his declining health have only fueled speculation, with reports of prostate cancer sparking concern. Nostradamus's reference to a king being driven out could point to his abdication or a sudden end to his reign due to unforeseen circumstances. The prophecy's next line, replaced by one who will have no mark of a king, has opened the door to even more wild theories. Some believe this could refer to Prince William, who is seen as a stable and conventional successor. But others suggest a more shocking possibility, the return of Prince Harry. Despite his controversial departure from royal duties, Harry's recent visits to the UK and growing popularity abroad have led some to wonder if he could step into an unexpected leadership role. Still, the prophecy's ambiguity allows for other interpretations. Could this be the end of the British monarchy as we know it? Nostradamus's words may hint at a broader collapse of the royal institution. Public opinion around the monarchy has shifted dramatically in recent years, with growing calls for a more democratic system of governance. If Charles's reign is cut short, it could spark conversations about whether the monarchy should exist at all, whether its health issues, public dissatisfaction, or a deeper cultural shift. Nostradamus's vision of turmoil within the British Isles feels all too relevant. If 2025 is the year this prophecy comes true, the world may witness one of the most dramatic changes to the royal family in modern history. And when the crown falls, what will rise in its place? Prophecy 3. The Age of Aquarius and its Dark Beginnings. Nostradamus foresaw a new astrological era known as the Age of Aquarius, often described by astrologers as a time of spiritual awakening, innovation, and transformation. However, his vision of this age was far from the utopian ideals many hope for. In his cryptic quatrains, he warned of blood, milk, famine, war, and diseases, predicting that humanity's transition into this new age would be marked by hardship and chaos. This age, set to last over 2,000 years, begins a powerful shift in energy, but Nostradamus saw it as a period where humanity's struggles would intensify. Modern crises seem to mirror his warnings. Pandemics, economic instability, climate disasters, and growing global tensions all align with his predictions. The famine he referenced could relate to collapsing agricultural systems caused by erratic weather and dwindling resources, while diseases and war could represent ongoing global health challenges and increasing conflict over land, water, and power. The Age of Aquarius also represents a shift in collective consciousness, an era where humanity is expected to let go of old ways and embrace progress. Yet, Nostradamus's warning suggests the struggle to adapt may be greater than anticipated. Humanity's unwillingness to change could lead to destructive outcomes, such as resource wars or widespread unrest. His mention of blood and milk is believed to symbolize a breaking point where peace gives way to violence and scarcity. As technology and spirituality collide in this new age, there's also the risk of disconnection. Advanced systems like artificial intelligence, which Nostradamus warned about separately, could isolate humanity rather than unify it, exacerbating social divides instead of healing them. The promise of transformation may become a double-edged sword, delivering innovation but also eroding trust, compassion, and unity. The Age of Aquarius was never meant to be easy. Nostradamus's prophecies remind us that every new beginning requires sacrifice, and the next few decades could bring trials that test humanity's resilience. As we step into this astrological shift, the question remains: will we rise to the challenge, or will the chaos consume us? And if the dawn of a new age brings only darkness, how long until we see the light? Prophecy 4. the looming collapse of global economies. Nostradamus predicted a time when powerful nations would face severe economic struggles, leaving their people vulnerable and desperate. He referred to giants brought low and gold that no longer holds value, suggesting a collapse of wealth and power in some of the world's most dominant economies. With inflation, debt crises, and financial instability plaguing nations like the United States and China, his words feel alarmingly close to reality. The prophecy hints at a series of cascading failures within global markets. Supply chains disrupted by natural disasters, wars, or political instability could lead to shortages of essential goods. Stock markets, already volatile, could crash under the weight of unsustainable debt. Nostradamus's mention of gold losing its worth might not only point to currency devaluation, but also to the loss of trust in traditional financial systems. Cryptocurrencies, once hailed as the future of money, could add another layer of chaos as governments scramble to regulate their use or ban them altogether. In the United States, the giant brought low could symbolize the country's struggle to maintain its economic dominance in the face of rising inflation, a shrinking middle class, and political division. China, another giant, faces its own challenges, including a potential housing market collapse and trade tensions with the West. Nostradamus's quatrains also speak of unrest in the Land of the Red, which some interpret as a reference to China. A slowing global economy could lead to more than financial hardship. It could spark widespread unrest as people lose trust in their leaders and institutions. The prophecy also hints at a broader shift in global power dynamics. Nostradamus wrote of nations turning inward, abandoning cooperation in favor of self-preservation. This isolation could lead to trade wars, resource hoarding, and a breakdown of the global order. For those already living on the edge of poverty, these economic shifts could be devastating, plunging millions into hunger and homelessness. As 2025 looms, the cracks in the world's financial system seem to widen. Nostradamus's warning stands as a grim reminder of what may come, a world where wealth is meaningless, power is fleeting, and survival becomes the only currency that matters. Prophecy 5. Natural disasters and the wrath of the earth. Nostradamus often wrote about the Earth's fury, predicting a series of catastrophic natural disasters that would reshape the planet. In one of his most haunting quatrains, he described great floods, trembling earth, and fire in the sky, painting a vivid picture of a world battered by uncontrollable forces. As we look toward 2025, these warnings feel more relevant than ever, with the planet already grappling with the devastating effects of climate change. Scientists predict that extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, wildfires, and heat waves, will only intensify in the coming years, echoing Nostradamus's grim vision. Rising sea levels threaten to swallow coastal cities, while prolonged droughts could devastate agricultural regions, leading to global food shortages. His reference to trembling earth points to powerful earthquakes, which could strike without warning, destroying homes and infrastructure. Recent quakes in Turkey and Morocco have already served as painful reminders of how fragile human civilization is when nature turns violent. Nostradamus's mention of fire in the sky has been interpreted as both literal and symbolic. It could refer to increased volcanic eruptions, with ash clouds darkening the skies, or even to the possibility of a catastrophic asteroid impact. While such an event may seem unlikely, astronomers continue to monitor near-Earth objects that could pose a threat. His prophecy also aligns with fears of intensified solar storms, disrupting satellite communications and power grids, plunging parts of the world into chaos. The most chilling aspect of Nostradamus's prophecy, however, is its connection to famine. Flooded fields and prolonged droughts would make food production impossible in many regions, leading to widespread hunger and desperation. Coastal cities might disappear beneath rising waters, and entire nations could face collapse as their resources are destroyed by nature's wrath. As the climate becomes more unpredictable and extreme, humanity may soon realize it is powerless against the planet's might. Will 2025 mark the point of no return when the Earth finally fights back against centuries of exploitation? And when the Earth speaks, will we listen or be swept away in its fury? Prophecy 6. The Rise of Social Revolutions. In one of his most striking quatrains, Nostradamus wrote of a fire burning in the heart of cities, a powerful metaphor that many interpret as a warning of mass uprisings and revolutions. This prophecy seems uncannily in line with the growing unrest seen in the modern world, as social inequality, political corruption, and systemic injustices reach critical levels. Nostradamus envisioned a time when the oppressed would rise against their rulers, and the systems that have governed for centuries would crumble under the weight of their failures. The years leading to 2025 have already been marked by waves of protests and riots around the globe. From economic inequality to demands for racial and gender justice, discontent is boiling over in cities like Paris, Hong Kong, and even within the United States. Nostradamus's prophecy suggests that this unrest could escalate, pushing the world into a period of dramatic social transformation. The rise of technology has played a key role in fueling these movements. Social media platforms amplify voices, spread information in real time, and organize protests on a scale unimaginable just decades ago. Nostradamus's mention of a new power challenging traditional systems could point to the way digital technology is reshaping the balance of power. Leaders who once seemed untouchable are now being held accountable by movements sparked from a single tweet or viral video. However, revolutions are rarely peaceful. Nostradamus's warning of fire could also symbolize the destruction that accompanies upheaval. Cities could burn, not just metaphorically but literally, as civil unrest spirals out of control. Governments might respond with force, leading to clashes that deepen divisions rather than resolve them. If his prophecy is accurate, 2025 may bring more than just protests. It could mark the start of a global reckoning. When the people rise, what will remain standing? Will society rebuild itself stronger, or will the fires of revolution consume us all? Prophecy 7. The Catholic Church in turmoil. Nostradamus's predictions often focused on upheavals within powerful institutions, and his warnings about the Catholic Church have long captured the public's imagination. In one quatrain, he speaks of an elderly pontiff's passing and the rise of a leader of good age who will sit long yet weaken his position. Many believe this prophecy points directly to Pope Francis, who at 87 years old in 2025 continues to face significant health challenges. Pope Francis's reign has already been marked by controversies, health scares, and debates about the Church's role in modern society. His absence from a recent UN climate summit due to lung issues has only fueled speculation about his fragility. Nostradamus's prediction of an elderly pontiff's demise could point to his death, resignation, or even a scandal that shakes the Church to its core. The prophecy also hints at the successor, a Roman of good age, who will ascend to the papacy but face challenges that could diminish the Church's influence. This could signify internal divisions among Church leaders or external pressures from an increasingly secular world. The Catholic Church, already grappling with declining membership and credibility issues, could face its most significant crisis yet in 2025. Adding to this, Nostradamus's prophecies have often been linked to broader shifts in religious power. Some believe his vision of a weakened church hints at the rise of new spiritual movements, or even the collapse of the Vatican's political and moral authority. Scandals, internal corruption, or public outcry against outdated doctrines could accelerate this decline, leaving the Church vulnerable in ways it hasn't been for centuries. If 2025 brings the downfall or dramatic restructuring of the Catholic Church, it could reshape the global religious landscape. Nostradamus' warning is clear. Even the most enduring institutions are not immune to time, change, and controversy. And when the Church falters, will faith stand strong, or will it crumble too? Prophecy 8. The Return of Donald Trump. Nostradamus' quatrains often describe figures who disrupt the natural order, and many believe one of his most controversial predictions aligns with Donald Trump. He wrote of a leader who would rise during a time of deep instability, a figure who would challenge norms, polarize society, and create upheaval. The parallels to Trump's political journey are striking, from his unexpected ascent in 2016 to his continued influence in the years since. As 2025 approaches, speculation about Trump's return to power is growing. Nostradamus' descriptions of this leader's disruptive nature, one who speaks with pride and causes division, resonate strongly with Trump's legacy. His presidency reshaped global politics with bold decisions that inspired both fierce loyalty and intense opposition. Nostradamus' mention of upheaval and transformation could symbolize the sweeping changes Trump's leadership might bring if he regains a position of power. Nostradamus also warned of societal fractures under this leader. His prophecies speak of people divided, with unrest rippling through communities. In the United States, Trump's polarizing presence has already deepened political and social divides. A return to power could further destabilize the nation, sparking protests, economic shifts, and conflicts both at home and abroad. Interestingly, Nostradamus' words about this leader are often tied to global events. His rise is seen as part of a larger pattern of instability, with references to economic struggles and international tensions. Trump's potential return could coincide with financial uncertainty in the US, or escalating rivalries with powers like China and Russia, amplifying the turbulence Nostradamus foresaw. Whether viewed as a visionary disruptor or a harbinger of chaos, Trump's connection to Nostradamus' prophecy raises unsettling questions. Will his return mark a period of renewal, or will it push the world closer to the brink? And if this leader rises again, will we be ready for the storm he brings? Prophecy 9. The Rise of China and Global Power Shifts. Nostradamus' prophecies often focused on the balance of global power, and one quatrain mentions a red adversary that trembles across vast oceans, causing fear and disruption. Many interpret this as a reference to modern-day China, whose rapid rise on the world stage is reshaping international relations. As tensions grow over contested regions like the South China Sea and Taiwan, Nostradamus' warnings feel eerily prophetic. China's growing naval presence and military strength align with Nostradamus' mention of oceans trembling. The South China Sea has become a flashpoint, with China asserting dominance in disputed waters and building artificial islands to solidify control. The possibility of conflict between China and other powers, such as the United States or NATO allies, looms larger each year. Nostradamus' vision of naval battles may point to a military standoff in these contested regions, one that could spiral into a broader conflict. Economically, China's influence continues to expand, challenging the dominance of Western nations. Nostradamus' reference to dread across vast oceans could symbolize the unease many countries feel about China's growing power. From technological advancements in AI and 5G to their Belt and Road Initiative, China's reach is extending far beyond its borders. This shift in power dynamics aligns with Nostradamus's predictions of an upheaval that would leave the world's traditional leaders scrambling to adapt. But power shifts don't come without consequences. A clash between China and the West, whether over trade, technology or military dominance, could disrupt global stability. Nostradamus's warning of dread and trembling oceans serves as a reminder that even the most powerful nations are vulnerable to collapse when tensions escalate too far. Will 2025 mark the year China's rise sparks a global confrontation? Or will diplomacy prevail, averting the disaster Nostradamus foresaw? And when the oceans tremble, will the world remain steady or sink into chaos? Prophecy 10. The Threat from the Stars. Among Nostradamus's most ominous warnings is one that speaks of a celestial fire and a darkening of Mars's light. For centuries, scholars have debated these cryptic phrases, but modern interpretations suggest they could point to threats from space, asteroids, solar storms, or even humanity's increasing ambitions to explore beyond Earth. One possible interpretation is an asteroid impact, a scenario scientists continue to monitor closely. Nostradamus's celestial fire could describe a large asteroid entering Earth's atmosphere, bringing destruction on a massive scale. NASA and other space agencies regularly track near-Earth objects, and while no major impacts are expected in 2025, the possibility remains. A collision could trigger tsunamis, earthquakes, and widespread devastation, fulfilling Nostradamus's dire vision of a world reshaped by fire from the sky. The mention of Mars, however, introduces another layer of mystery. Could this refer to disruptions in humanity's growing attempts to explore the Red Planet? With Elon Musk's SpaceX planning human missions to Mars as early as the 2020s, Nostradamus's darkening of Mars's light might symbolize challenges or tragedies in these ambitious endeavors. A failed mission or unexpected event could halt humanity's dream of becoming a multi-planetary species, forcing us to rethink our place in the universe. Alternatively, the darkening could allude to a massive solar storm, an event capable of crippling satellites, disrupting global communications, and plunging parts of the world into darkness. Such an event would affect not only everyday life, but also critical infrastructure like power grids and transportation systems, leaving humanity vulnerable in ways we can barely comprehend. Nostradamus's prophecy reminds us of the fragility of life on Earth and the dangers that lie beyond our atmosphere. As humanity reaches for the stars, will we be prepared for the challenges they bring? Or will the heavens themselves turn against us? And if fire falls from the sky, will it unite us or destroy everything we've built?